Peppa Pig Babysitting. Mummy and Daddy Pig are going out for the evening. Granny and Grandpa Pig are babysitting Peppa and George.
Hooray!
Granny Pig, Grandpa Pig,
says Peppa happily.
Daddy Pig, Peppa Pig.
George joins in. Good night, says Daddy Pig. Good night, says Mummy Pig. Now go to sleep quickly. What little darlings, says Granny Pig. So well behaved. Peppa yawns and Daddy Pig switches off the bedroom light. Mummy and Daddy Pig leave for their evening out. Inside the house, Grandpa and Granny sit down on the sofa. They share a tasty pizza. This babysitting is easy, says Grandpa Pig. In the bedroom, Peppa does not want to go to sleep.
George, are you awake?
She whispers. George grunts excitedly. Peppa laughs. She climbs down the bunk bed ladder and switches on the bedroom light. George picks up a spotted ball and bounces it to Peppa. She bounces it back. They both giggle. Soon there are toys all over the floor. It is so hard to go to sleep when playing is much more fun. Grandpa Pig and Granny Pig are watching TV. Peppa and George come downstairs to the living room.
George and I are not sleepy at all,
says Peppa.
Can we watch TV with you?
I suppose watching a little TV might make you sleepy, says Granny Pig.
Hooray!
The TV show is about gardening.
This programme is very boring,
says Peppa, yawning. She suggests playing a game instead.
Grandpa, can you throw us up and catch us?
asks Peppa. OK, but just one turn each, says Grandpa. Peppa laughs as Grandpa Pig throws her in the air, then catches her. You seem heavier than before, says Grandpa Pig. Now it is George's turn, says Grandpa Pig. George loves feeling like he's flying.
Hiya, hiya,
shouts George, as Grandpa Pig starts to wheeze. Maybe Grandpa is a bit tired, says Granny Pig.
Granny, let's play it,
says Peppa. You're it. Peppa taps Granny Pig on the nose. Granny Pig chases Peppa, George and Grandpa Pig around the sofa. I'm going to catch you, she cries. Everyone runs and giggles. Later, Mummy and Daddy Pig arrive back home. I hope our little piggies are asleep, says Mummy Pig. Peppa, George, Grandpa Pig and Granny Pig are all snoring on the sofa. The little piggies are asleep, whispers Daddy Pig, and so are the big piggies. The end. Peppa Pig, the fire engine. Mummy Pig is going to the Mummy's fire engine practice. It's just a good excuse for a cup of tea and a chat, says Daddy Pig. I'm meeting with the Daddy's football team and having a barbecue. That's just a lot of grown-up boys kicking a football around, says Mummy Pig.
Mummy, can we see the fire engine?
asks Peppa.
Fire and done,
says George. Yes, Peppa, I'll take you and George, says Mummy Pig.
Hooray!
Mummy Pig drives Peppa and George to Miss Rabbit's fire station. Hello, Peppa and George, says Miss Rabbit. Come and see the fire engine. There's a ladder for climbing, says Miss Rabbit, a hose for squirting water, and a big bell to ring. Miss Rabbit takes them into the control room to look for fires.
Wow!
Peppa spots a red phone and picks it up.
Peppa, that's the fire phone, says Miss Rabbit. It's only to be used when there's a fire.
Peppa puts the phone down. Suddenly the red phone rings. Miss Rabbit panics. Fire station, where's the fire? Says Miss Rabbit. Can I talk to Mummy Pig, please? Asked Daddy Pig. It's an emergency. I can't find the tomato ketchup anywhere. Miss Rabbit puts the phone down. How many fires have you actually put out, Miss Rabbit? Asked Mummy Pig. None, replies Miss Rabbit. Not one fire, but you've got to be ready. The red phone rings again. Hello, Daddy Pig, says Miss Rabbit. This phone is only to be used when there's a... Fire! Shouts Daddy Pig. Oh no! Oh dear, Daddy Pig's barbecue is on fire. Mummies to the rescue, says Miss Rabbit. Miss Rabbit slides down the pole to the fire engine. All the mummies slide down the pole. Peppa and George hold tight and slide down the pole too. They all get into the fire engine. Miss Rabbit puts on the siren and drives them to Peppa's house. The fire engine arrives at Peppa's house. Stand back, daddies, shouts Miss Rabbit. Mummy Pig and Mummy Sheep hose down the barbecue. The fire is out.
Hooray!
Thank you for saving us, Miss Rabbit, says Daddy Pig. No problem, it's all part of the service, says Miss Rabbit. The Mummy's fire engine service, says Mummy Pig. And now that Miss Rabbit has kindly flooded our garden, says Daddy Pig, we can all jump up and down in muddy puddles.
I love fire engines, says Peppa, especially when they make muddy puddles.
The end. Peppa Pig, happy birthday. It is Mummy Pig's birthday, and Peppa and George have made her a yummy cake. Why don't we practice singing happy birthday? Asked Daddy Pig. Peppa and George are excited. George is so excited he blows the candles out.
Don't worry, George, says Peppa. Daddy can light them again.
Once the candles are lit, Peppa starts singing Happy Birthday with a little help from George. At the end of the song, Peppa gets so excited she blows the candles out.
Oops,
says Peppa, giggling.
Daddy, can you light them again, please? Let's take the cake to Mummy,
says Peppa, when the candles are lit. But just then a breeze comes through the window and blows the candles out.
Oh no,
cries Peppa.
not again.
Don't worry, Peppa, says Daddy Pig. I'll light them one last time. Peppa, George and Daddy Pig tiptoe towards the living room with the cake.
We're coming, Mummy,
Peppa shouts loudly. Shh, shoots Daddy Pig. Let's surprise her. but his shushing blows the candles out. "Oh, Daddy," says Peppa, "now you have to light them again." Finally, Peppa and George give Mummy Pig her cake. "Happy birthday, dear Mummy. Happy birthday to you." Mummy Pig tries to blow the candles out, but she can't. "We can help," says Peppa, taking a deep breath. "Hooray! Wow," says Mummy Pig. "I'm the luckiest mummy in the whole world." The end. Peppa's best birthday party. It was Mandy Mouse's birthday, and she was having her party at Cheese World.
Wow.
"What is Cheese World, Mandy?" asked Peppa.
It's the most fun place ever,
replied Mandy.
There's a cheese river and a cheese mountain, and best of all, there's a cheese castle.
"Wow!" everyone gasped. When they arrived for the party, Mummy Mouse took Mandy and her friends to a huge cheese-shaped arch. "Welcome to Cheese World," announced Miss Rabbit. "Have any of you been here before?"
I have.
cried Mandy.
It's amazing.
Wow.
"Oh, hello, Mandy," said Miss Rabbit.
Nice to see you again.
Everyone followed Miss Rabbit past some cheese trees and cheese bushes. "So," said Miss Rabbit, "everything at Cheese World is about cheese," cheered Mandy. "That's right," said Miss Rabbit. "And we'll start by sailing on the river of cheese." Mandy cheered again. When they got to the cheese river, 2 little cheese boats were waiting.
All aboard,
called Mandy. "And hold tight," added Miss Rabbit, as the boats bobbed along. "Miss Rabbit," said Peppa, "are these boats made of real cheese?" "No, Peppa," replied Miss Rabbit. "They are made from pretend cheese." "Oh," said Peppa. "We are now entering Cheese Mountain," said Miss Rabbit as they sailed inside a cave. "Is it made of real cheese?" asked Peppa. "No," replied Miss Rabbit, "but this is what it would be like to sail through a cheese mountain."
Wow.
"Ooh!" cried Mandy and her friends. "If cheese mountains existed," finished Miss Rabbit. After the boat ride, Mr. Rabbit showed the group his cheese aeroplane ride. Mandy explained what to do.
if you pull the lever, the plane goes up.
She said,
And if you push the lever, the plane goes down.
Once the children were safely in their airplanes, Mr. Rabbit started the ride. "Up, up and away," he cried.
This is brilliant.
Said Molly Mole.
Look, there's a sun made of cheese.
Mandy called.
And the clouds are cottage cheese,
Gasped Susie.
I can see the whole world.
Said Peppa.
It's all cheese.
Was that fun? Asked Mummy Mouse once the children finished flying.
Yes!
Everyone cheered happily.
I told you Cheese World is the most fun place ever.
Cried Mandy. Next, it was time to visit the Castle of Cheese. "Hello, Mandy," said Grampy Rabbit when they arrived at the entrance. have you told your friends about my castle of cheese?
I told them it was the best bit, said Mandy.
It is, said Grumpy Rabbit. It's where we get to smell real cheese. No pretend cheese here. Once they were inside, Grumpy Rabbit said, let's start by smelling a mild cheese. Molly and Pedro Pony both took a good sniff. Said Molly.
This smells nice.
I like it too, said Pedro. Grumpy Rabbit sniffed the cheese, but he didn't think it had any smell at all. Now for something a little bit stronger, said Grumpy Rabbit, taking the cover off a second piece of cheese. He took a big sniff. That's more like it, he said. A stinky one. Pedro sniffed the cheese. He cried.
It smells like my daddy's socks.
And now, said Grumpy Rabbit, it's time for the strongest cheese in the whole world. Grumpy Rabbit carefully lifted the cover off the third cheese and took a huge sniff. Now that's what I call cheese, he said. Next it was Mandy's turn to smell the super strong cheese.
It's the nicest smell I've ever smelled,
she said. You love smelling cheese, don't you, Mandy? Said Mummy Mouse.
Yes,
Cried Mandy.
but I love eating it even more.
Funny you should say that, said Mummy Mouse. Mummy Mouse brought out a cake covered in candles.
Wow.
It's birthday cake time, she said.
Cheesecake,
Gasped Mandy.
my favourite.
Hooray! Everyone cheered.
This is the best birthday ever.
Cried Mandy.
And this is the best birthday party ever.
Said Peppa.
Happy birthday, Mandy.
The end.
Happy birthday, Peppa. Once upon a time, it was nearly Peppa's birthday. And she was on the telephone to Susie's sheep. I'm going to have a party, and Daddy is doing a magic show, Peppa told Susie excitedly. Ho ho. I hope you don't mind, Daddy, Mummy Pig whispered. I promise, Peppa.
Ho ho, not at all, Daddy Pig replied. Of course, the amazing Mysterio will make an appearance.
George was excited too. He loved parties and magic shows. Peppa wanted to start planning her party straight away. She asked Mummy Pig if she could invite all of her friends. Yes, Mummy Pig said, and George can invite some too. But George's friends are little, Peppa said. Mummy Pig told Peppa that she could teach George's friends all the party games.
Wow.
Oh yes, I am very good at that, agreed Peppa. Soon it was Peppa's birthday. It was very early in the morning, but Peppa was already wide awake. Wake up, Daddy, it's my birthday, Peppa shouted, bouncing on Mummy and Daddy Pig's bed. What time is it? Asked Mummy Pig. Daddy Pig checked. It was 5 o'clock in the morning. By 7 o'clock, everyone was dressed and ready for breakfast. Okay, let's get your birthday started, Mummy Pig said. George passed Peppa her birthday present. Happy birthday, Peppa, Mummy and Daddy Pig said together. George said. Peppa tore off the pretty paper excitedly. It was a pink polka dot doll's dress for Teddy.
Wow.
Thank you, everyone, she cried. Ding dong! Peppa's friends had arrived. Happy birthday, Peppa, shouted Candy Cat,
Meow.
Susie Sheep, Danny Dog, Rebecca Rabbit, Zoe Zebra, Emily Elephant and Pedro Pony. George's little friends were there too. Squeak! said Richard Rabbit, Edmund Elephant and Zuzu and Zaza Zebra. Peppa explained how to play musical statues to George and his friends. You have to dance when the music is playing, and when it stops, freeze like a statue. Click! Danny Dog pressed play on the stereo, but no one moved. You got to dance, Peppa called. The little children started to dance. Head, shoulders, knees and toes. Click! Danny Pig turned off the stereo. George, Richard, Edmund, Zuzu and Zaza froze. You're moving, George, Peppa said. You're out. George cried very loudly. One by one, all of George's friends were out, except for Zaza. Zaza is the winner, Emily Elephant announced. Here's your medal, she added, looping the red ribbon around the little zebra's neck. It's made of real plastic gold, Candy Cat said.
Meow.
Cried George, Richard, Edmund and Zuzu. They wanted medals too. Daddy Pig hurried in to cheer everyone up with a magic show. Peppa, whispered Daddy Pig, remember to introduce me as the amazing Mysterio. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Magic Daddy, said Peppa. Hooray! The audience cheered and clapped. Magic Daddy took off his top hat and waved a hand over it, ready to perform his first trick.
Wow.
Ta-da! Teddy appeared from Magic Daddy's hat. The children clapped again. For my next trick, I need a helper from the audience, said Magic Daddy. Everyone put their hands up. Magic Daddy chose Susie Sheep.
Hooray!
Okay, Susie, here are 3 coloured balls, he said, turning his back and closing his eyes. You have to secretly choose one while I'm not looking. Susie picked up the red ball. Abracadabra, Magic Daddy said. You chose yellow, Magic Daddy guessed. No, said Susie Sheep. Magic Daddy guessed again. You chose blue. No, Susie Sheep said. Magic Daddy had one more guess. You chose red. Yes, Susie Sheep said. Hooray! The children cheered and clapped. Peppa wasn't sure Magic Daddy should have said all 3 colours, but she clapped along anyway. Next, Magic Daddy turned off the lights. Close your eyes. No peeping. Now say the magic word. Abracadabra! The children cried. Open your eyes, cried Magic Daddy, turning the lights back on. The children opened their eyes. Ooh, they gasped. Mummy Pig was holding a delicious-looking cake with 4 candles on it. My banana birthday cake, cried Peppa. Blow the candles out, Peppa, Mummy said. And don't forget to make a wish, Daddy Pig added. Peppa squeezed her eyes shut and wished very hard. Then she blew them all out at once. Hooray! Cheered her friends. Happy birthday, Peppa! Susie Sheep asked her what she'd wished, but Peppa wouldn't tell. She really wanted her birthday wish to come true. And finally, announced Magic Daddy, I have one last trick to amaze you with. Abracadabra! He pulled a present from his top hat and handed it to Peppa. Peppa squealed, tearing off the paper and opening the box. Inside was a beautiful pair of yellow wellies. Right, boots on everyone, Mummy Pig called. All the children ran to the hall to put on their wellies. What's happening? Peppa asked. Why has everyone brought their boots? Peppa, George and their friends followed Mummy Pig out into the garden. Peppa was so excited she couldn't stop skipping. Daddy Pig and George quickly picked up 2 buckets and poured water all over the grass. Surprise! Everyone shouted. Happy birthday, Peppa! Paddles! Hooray! Peppa yelled, leaping in and jumping up and down. My birthday wish came true! Come on, everyone! Mummy Pig, Daddy Pig, George, George's friends and Peppa's friends all jumped in. Everyone loves jumping in muddy puddles. This is the best birthday ever! Shouted Peppa. The end. Peppa Pig, George's birthday. It's George's birthday today. Mummy Pig hands George a box wrapped in green paper. Happy birthday, George, she says.
Dinosaur.
Cries George, pulling out a purple dinosaur. Wow. I knew it would be a dinosaur, Stinky, says Peppa. George waves the toy dinosaur at Peppa. Too scary, cries Peppa. Peppa has painted a card for George. I was going to paint a flower, says Peppa, but George does not like flowers, so in the end I painted a
Dinosaur.
cries George. Mummy Pig tells George that they are going somewhere very special for his birthday treat. Yippee! Shouts Peppa. Where are we going? You'll see, says Daddy Pig. George's birthday treat is a visit to the dinosaur room at the museum.
Wow.
George loves dinosaurs. They are his favourite thing in the whole world. Not silly old dinosaurs again, groans Peppa. George stops in front of a big green dinosaur. He is standing on a yellow cross. There's a beep, and then roar! George jumps and begins to cry. It's not real, George, says Mummy Pig. Don't be frightened. It's just a robot, says Daddy Pig. Shouts George at the robo-dino. And there's another surprise, says Mummy Pig. All of Peppa and George's friends are here.
Hooray!
Happy birthday, George, says everyone. Mummy Rabbit has made a delicious birthday cake for George.
I knew it would be a dinosaur cake,
says Peppa. Mummy Rabbit laughs.
What an amazing guess, Peppa.
It's time for one last surprise, says Daddy Pig. Can you guess what it is?
Something to do with dinosaurs,
says Peppa. Everybody runs outside to see. It is a bouncy castle in the shape of a dinosaur. A bouncy dinosaur. George loves bouncy dinosaurs, and so does Peppa. The end. Peppa Pig, George's birthday. Today is George's birthday. It is very early in the morning, says George, jumping up and down. Happy birthday, George, say Mummy Pig and Daddy Pig. George woke me up, says Peppa. Mummy Pig and Daddy Pig have a present for George. When George opens it, he shouts, "Dinosaur!" Arrgh. Oh, squeeze its tummy, says Daddy Pig. George's new dinosaur roars. Laughs George. Peppa has made George a card. When George opens the card, he shouts, "Dinosaur!" We're going somewhere very special for George's birthday treat, says Mummy Pig. Yippee, says Peppa, and off they all go. The family arrives at the museum. George, what do you like best in the whole world, says Daddy Pig. Dinosaurs, says George. George's birthday treat is a visit to the dinosaur room, says George, jumping up and down. Beep, beep, roar, says a great big dinosaur. George is very surprised and starts to cry. Don't be frightened, George. It's not a real dinosaur, explains Mummy Pig. George loves the robot dinosaur. Surprise! Peppa and George's friends are here. Mummy Rabbit has made a birthday cake for George. It's a dinosaur cake, says Peppa. Happy birthday, George, shouts everyone. There's one last surprise, says Daddy Pig. Everybody follows Daddy Pig outside. What's that? asks Peppa, looking at George's surprise. Daddy Pig switches on a pump. It just needs to be filled with air, he says. It's a bouncy castle, Peppa cries. No, it's a dinosaur, a bouncy dinosaur, shouts Peppa. Dinosaur, says George. The end. Peppa Pig, Grampy Rabbit's Boatyard. It is a lovely sunny day. Peppa, George and Granny Pig are going out with Grandpa Pig on his boat. Ahoy there, Peppa and George, shouts Grandpa Pig. I'll move the boat a bit nearer. Oh dear, Grandpa Pig's boat is sinking. A captain never leaves his sinking ship, says Grandpa Pig. The boat sinks to the bottom of the river. Grandad Dog arrives on his boat.
Hooray!
I'm taking my boat to the boatyard today, he says. Would you mind taking mine too? asks Grandpa Pig. Of course, replies Grandpa Dog. Where is your boat? I'm standing on it, says Grandpa Pig sadly. Grandad Dog's truck lifts the boat out of the water.
Wow.
Next stop, the Boatyard, says Grandad Dog.
What's a boatyard?
Asks Peppa.
A boatyard is where broken boats get mended,
says Granny Pig. The truck arrives at Grampy Rabbit's boatyard. Ahoy there, me hearties, bellows Grampy Rabbit. What happened to your boat, Grandpa Pig?
Someone drove it into a mooring post,
says Grandpa Pig.
Can you mend it?
Of course, says Grampy Rabbit. Grampy Rabbit examines the hole in Grandpa Pig's boat. I need to find something to patch it up, says Grampy Rabbit. Grampy Rabbit collects scrap metal. He uses it to mend boats.
Wow.
Grampy Rabbit has lots of scrap metal. He has used some of it to build a submarine. It fills up with water, says Grampy Rabbit, so it's very good at going down, but not so good at coming back up. Grampy Rabbit finds an old washing machine. Now this is what I've been looking for, he says.
You're going to mend my boat with a bit of old washing machine?
asks Grandpa Pig. Yes, says Grampy Rabbit. Grampy Rabbit covers up the hole with the old piece of metal. There, good as new, he says.
Hooray!
Hooray! Everyone cheers. Now we test it, says Grampy Rabbit. Everyone goes back to the river with Grandpa Pig's boat. It floats, says Grampy Rabbit. Usually they sink on the first go.
Now we can go for our day on the river,
says Peppa. Grampy Rabbit plays his banjo and everyone sings as the boat bobs up and down. The end. Grandpa Pig's boat. Grandpa Pig is taking Peppa and George out for a day on the river. I'm the captain of this boat, says Grandpa Pig. Granny Pig, Peppa and George all salute Grandpa Pig. Aye, aye, Captain, they cry.
When I tell you to do something, you must do it,
says Grandpa Pig.
Unless it's something silly,
Granny Pig tells Peppa and George. Grandpa Pig frowns.
The captain never says anything silly. Of course not, Captain,
says Granny Pig, saluting. Everyone does what Grandpa Pig says.
Wow.
He asks George to raise the flag and Granny Pig to take the wheel. Then Grandpa Pig tells Peppa to ring the bell. Off they go. The boat speeds through the water. Granny Pig thinks they should go a bit slower.
Good idea, Granny Pig,
says Grandpa Pig.
I don't want to use up all my petrol.
Peppa spots another boat. It's Grandad Dog. He's taking Danny Dog out for a day on the river. Grandad Dog is Grandpa Pig's very best friend.
Oh, I'm surprised your boat is still afloat, Grandad Dog. It must be almost as old as you are,
says Grandpa Pig.
Oh, this old boat can go faster than your rusty bucket any day,
replies Grandad Dog. Grandpa Pig is not happy. He calls Grandad Dog a sea dog. Grandad Dog calls Grandpa Pig a water hog. You are both acting like little children, cries Granny Pig. Peppa and George think this is funny. Grandpa Pig won't say sorry. Grandad Dog won't say sorry. They decide to race instead. Grandad Dog zooms off. Catch me if you can, water hog, says Grandad Dog. Grandpa Pig is not happy. Sea dog, shouts Grandpa Pig. Grandpa Pig overtakes Grandad Dog and leaves him far behind. Can't catch me, ha 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 ha, says Grandpa Pig. I win. Oh no, my boat has run out of petrol, cries Grandpa Pig. Maybe I did go a bit too fast. Maybe Grandad Dog can tow us home, suggests Granny Pig. I don't want him to, says Grandpa Pig. Will you two ever grow up? Says Granny Pig. Grandpa, say sorry to Grandad Dog, says Peppa. Grandad, say sorry to Grandpa Pig, says Danny. Finally, they both say sorry. Grandad Dog is Grandpa Pig's very best friend. Grandad Dog tows Grandpa Pig's boat home. The main thing is I won the race, Grandpa Pig says to Peppa. Grandpa Pig, cries Granny Pig. Silly Grandpa Pig. The end. Peppa Pig The Boat Pond. Peppa and George have brought their toy boats to race on the pond.
Wow.
George's boat has to be wound up. The ducks come over to see Peppa and George.
Bonk, bonk.
Hello, ducks. May we use your pond to sail our boats? Asked Peppa. My boat doesn't wind up, says Peppa, looking for the winder on her boat. Your boat doesn't need winding up, Peppa, says Mummy Pig. It just needs a little help, says Daddy Pig, blowing Peppa's boat along. Here is Peppa's friend, Susie Sheep. Hello, everyone, she cries. I've got my speedboat. It has batteries to make it go. Woof! Here is Danny Dog with Grandad Dog. My granddad made me this pedal boat. It's steam-powered, says Danny.
Wow.
Rebecca Rabbit arrives with her mummy. I wish I had a boat, she says. I've got an idea, says Daddy Pig, picking up his newspaper. When I was a little piggy, I used to fold newspaper to make paper boats, says Daddy Pig, handing a boat to Rebecca. Thank you, Mr. Pig, says Rebecca, placing her paper boat on the pond. Now George wants a paper boat too. Daddy Pig makes paper boats for everyone. Let's race, says Mummy Pig. Ready, steady, blow! The boats speed across the pond. We have a winner, says Daddy Pig. That's George's boat, says Peppa. George is the winner. Hooray! Everybody cheers. I like paper boats the best, cries Peppa. Me too, cry all the children. It's time to go home now. Everybody has had a great day. Bye-bye, ducks, says Peppa. The ducks enjoyed the toy boats, but they like having their pond back too. The end. Peppa goes boating. Peppa and her family have come to the lake to go boating. Boats, boats, get your boats here, calls Miss Rabbit. I've got canoes, says Miss Rabbit. Says Daddy Pig. Paddling a canoe is hard work. I've got sailing boats, says Miss Rabbit. Daddy Pig isn't sure. Sailing a sailing boat is a bit tricky. Those pedalos look nice and relaxing, smiles Mummy Pig. Yes, agrees Daddy Pig. They've got a big paddle wheel to make them go. Daddy Pig, Mummy Pig, Peppa and George all climb onto a pedalo. You have to pedal, Miss Rabbit tells him. Enjoy your boat trip. Hooray! Off we go, shouts Daddy Pig. Peppa and George giggle. It's like a bicycle on the water. Emily Elephant and her family arrive. Hello, Miss Rabbit, says Mr. Elephant. We'd like a canoe, please. Certainly, says Miss Rabbit. Ahoy there, Miss Rabbit. It's Danny Dog and his dad, Captain Dog. They want to go out in a sailing boat. Aye, aye, Captain. Dad, says Danny Dog. We're sailing, shouts Danny. We're canoeing, shouts Emily. We're pedalling, shouts Peppa. Poor Daddy Pig. Pedaling a pedalo is a lot harder than it looks. It is time to stop for lunch. Mummy Pig passes around the sandwiches. Here's some bread for you, Mrs. Duck, grins Peppa. Bonk, bonk. Mrs. Duck likes picnics. Everyone likes picnics. Miss Rabbit rings her bell. Come in, boats 1, 2 and 3, she calls up. Your time is up. 1, 2 and 3, says Peppa. That's us. Let's see who can get back first, says Mummy Pig. We'll have a race. Everyone goes as fast as they can. I'm not sure I can pedal much faster, puffs Daddy Pig. Captain Dog is lucky. His boat has an engine. We win, cries Danny. Captain Dog cheers. I'm not a sailor anymore, he says, but I do love boating on the lake. Yes, says Peppa, we all love boating on the lake. The end. Peppa and Family. Peppa loves her family. Sometimes they all meet up for a picnic. Mummy and Daddy Pig bring the sandwiches. Granny and Grandpa Pig bring the cakes. Uncle and Auntie Pig bring the fruit.
Hooray!
Peppa, calls Cousin Chloe, sit next to me. Peppa skips across the grass. Yay! George is Peppa's little brother. He likes dinosaurs, puddles, and tickles. On wet days, Peppa and George put on their boots and go outside.
Wow.
There's a puddle, says Peppa. Let's jump in it.
George giggles. George loves splashing in puddles with his big sister Peppa. Mummy Pig is a clever, busy mummy. Sometimes she works quietly on her computer. Sometimes she enjoys going to noisy birthday parties with Peppa and George.
Whee!
Shouts Mummy Pig.
This is fun. Good bouncing, Mummy,
says Peppa. Daddy Pig is a cheerful, kind daddy. He likes watching racing cars on TV. On Father's Day, Peppa and George make a special card for Daddy Pig. Oh, he gasps, what a lot of glitter. The card has made Daddy Pig all sparkly.
It says that you are the bestest daddy in the whole world,
cheers Peppa.
Hooray!
Granny Pig enjoys cooking and baking. She loves making tasty things for Peppa and George to eat.
Let's pick some strawberries,
says Granny Pig.
We can put them in a cake.
Hooray!
Can we help you make it?
asks Peppa. Granny Pig laughs.
Of course!
Peppa fills up her basket. She loves visiting the strawberry farm with Granny Pig. Grandpa Pig has lots of hobbies.
Wow.
He likes gardening, boating, and bird watching.
Every time we see a bird, I put a tick in my book,
says Grandpa Pig.
Bird,
cries George.
Well done, George, says Peppa. That's a pigeon.
Grandpa Pig fills his book with ticks. George has spotted lots of pigeons. Uncle and Auntie Pig live far away. Peppa likes to visit for sleepovers.
Hello, Peppa,
says Auntie Pig.
Hello, George.
Come in, says Uncle Pig. You must be tired after your long journey. We are, replies Mummy Pig.
I'm not tired at all,
says Peppa, running inside to see her cousins. Cousin Chloe and baby Alexander are Peppa's favourite cousins. Cousin Chloe is big and grown up. Baby Alexander is still very small.
It's baby Alexander's bath time,
says Cousin Chloe.
Do you want to help, Peppa? Yes, please,
says Peppa. Baby Alexander laughs. He likes splashing about in the water. Peppa loves her family. Everyone loves Peppa. The end. Peppa Pig and the Family Reunion. Peppa and George are very excited. Today the Pig family is having a reunion.
Wow.
Everyone in the family will be there.
You've brought pie,
says Peppa.
I love pie.
Says George. Uncle Pig and Auntie Pig unpack the car. They have brought a lot of stuff for the baby. Daddy Pig helps Uncle Pig unload a high chair, some baby toys, a stroller, and even a bathtub. Peppa likes baby Alexander.
Would you like to help feed the baby?
asks Auntie Pig.
Oh, yes,
says Peppa. She tries to feed baby Alexander. He turns away. Peppa tries again. The baby won't open his mouth.
Oh no!
Try playing an airplane, says Auntie Pig. She shows Peppa how to fly the spoon into baby Alexander's mouth. It works. Can you say airplane? Asked Peppa. Baby Alexander can't talk yet. Peppa wants to teach baby Alexander to talk. Can you say dinosaur? Says baby Alexander. Later that night, it's time to put baby Alexander to bed. But he doesn't sleep for long. What's that noise? Asked Peppa. Baby Alexander is awake. No, what's that other noise? That's the vacuum cleaner, says Chloe. Why are you vacuuming at night? Asked Daddy Pig. And why is Auntie Pig playing a trumpet? Loud noises are the best way to get baby Alexander to sleep, shouts Uncle Pig. We are a very noisy family. It is a very noisy night. After breakfast the next morning, everyone goes for a walk. Peppa tries to teach baby Alexander a new word. Look, a bird, says Peppa. Caw, caw, says baby Alexander. Sky, says Peppa. Caw, caw, says baby Alexander. Then it's time for the family reunion lunch. They are having Peppa's favourite, spaghetti. Daddy Pig and Uncle Pig love spaghetti too. Both of them ask for more. For dessert, everyone has a piece of Granny Pig's pie.
Hooray!
Yum! Peppa says to baby Alexander. Caw, caw, says baby Alexander. Chloe has brought her puppet theatre, and she and Peppa and George put on a puppet show.
Wow!
They make a Chloe puppet, a Peppa puppet, and a dinosaur puppet for George. Everyone claps after the puppet show. Well, almost everyone. Daddy Pig and Uncle Pig have fallen asleep. Peppa and Chloe go outside to play before the reunion is over. Baby Alexander likes to watch them play in the mud. Look, baby Alexander, says Peppa. We're jumping up and down in muddy puddles. And then it happens. Baby Alexander says his first word. Puddles. Well done, baby Alexander. Well done, Peppa. The end.
Hi kids, did you have fun watching this video? Then like and subscribe for more.